Ladies and gentlemen, I am Grandmaster Evan, and this is the Anonymous Republic Network. Oh, well. Now, before gaming ever became a hobby and something fun and entertaining, there was monster movies and comic books. That was the biggest in the minds of politicians and dumbass idiots that were self-proclaimed alleged professionals and shit. This is going to ruin their youth. Now, video games started in the 70s, which wasn't a huge problem at the time, no. Because you had these dumbasses who complain, bitch, and whine. And it wasn't until Mortal Kombat, the first game that came out, I remember playing it, and my all-time favorite character was Sub-Zero. Always have been, always will be my favorite character in the game. And the reason it got this big uproar 30 years ago was the finisher by Sub-Zero is where he pulls your head and your spine from your body. And all it is just your head and your spine, which was controversial at the time, even to this day. But it wasn't until the late 2000s that that Jack Thompson was suing everybody, trying to get a certain game banned, yada yada bullshit, which caused him to get disbarred, because when he sued a company like Rockstar, okay, which is owned by Take-Two, which Rockstar is owned by Take-Two Interactive, and now there was some controversial things in GTA, like hot coffee, where you could go and fuck this chick, but you're not nude. Okay, you're clothed and you're simulating sex acts while clothed, right? And that was controversial. Now, one of the biggest blunders in media is now we'll have that top 5 or top 10 favorite video games. Period. Okay. Period. Now, one of my favorite games is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now, in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3, now you could choose to do there's a certain mission that you could bypass. That means not do it if you choose not to do it. Now, you could do it if you wanted to, but you could also choose not to. Now, one of the missions was called No Russian, where you're undercover for the CIA. You're a CIA operative, and you infiltrate Makarov's ultranationalist organization. Okay, and the mission is you shoot everybody, citizens and all, in an airport. Now, their thing was, in the game, you could play as a terrorist. But what Fox News doesn't tell you is, one, you could choose not to do the mission, okay? Not to do it. And two, the character that you play is a undercover CIA operative, okay? That's what they don't tell you. Now, this is where the media really fucks up, you know. Now, Sandy Hook shooting that happened 10 years ago. Well, 9 years ago. Allegedly, Adam Lanza likes playing video games. Loves video games. And they were trying to blame video games for the reason why, allegedly, Adam Lanza shot up and killed 27 people. Now, what they didn't tell you was Adam Lanza and his mom were dead for 2 days before the alleged shooting happened. Period, you know. So what you saw was on CNN was a drill. A drill. And if there was a shooting there, where was the ambulance? Why was the police blocking the entrance for the ambulance? Because there was no ambulance, okay? Now, they took a training exercise, okay? And now they made the exercise look like an actual shooting, okay? An actual shooting. But Alex Jones was right the whole fucking time. Okay, he was right. He was right the whole fucking time. But he wasn't sued by the parents. He was sued by somebody else, allegedly to be the parents. You know, because if there was a shooting, where was the ambulance? Because there would have been more than one ambulance there. There was zero. There's another shooting alleged involving with video games. You know, they're trying to blame monster movies, comic books, and even video games for years over shootings and shit like that. You know. But they don't tell you is that the shooter doesn't had mental issues, like complete malfunction, man, malfunction of the brain, you know. But the media went after Alex Jones, okay? They went after everybody who questioned that the shooting in Sandy Hook, you know, at school. And there was a lot of red flags, man, red flags. You know, I mean, and so now the reason the coroner said the parents are not allowed to see the bodies. Red flag number one. Red flag number two was the police chief said nobody is allowed to investigate this crime. Number two. Red flag number three. The police cars were blocking the entrance for the ambulance. Where was the ambulance? didn't arrive. Red flag number 4, Adam Lanza's mom's car was in the parking lot. With her guns in the trunk. Red flag number 5, both Adam Lanza and his mom were already dead for 2 days before the alleged shooting even happened. Okay? Red flag number 6. The school was torn down, and so was the home belonging to Adam Lanza's mom. Both were torn down. But the thing is, if you question stuff like this, they're gonna call you a loon, tinfoil hat wearing idiot, all kinds of names, all kinds of names. But you have to really stop and think here for a moment here, guys. Now, video games have been blamed for a lot of things. For example, how many of you remember the case of the 2 girls killed their best friend who survived? I think she survived. That they were sacrificing her to Slender Man, and look at Slender Man, a internet creepypasta character. There was a movie a TV movie based on him on Sci-Fi. There was video games based on Slender Man. Slender Man is an internet creepypasta story. And it's really interesting. Real interesting. See, if two little girls try to kill their classmate and sacrifice their classmate to Slender Man, because Slender Man is not real, and we all know that. Some people might think, yeah, he's real. He's like the Mothman, the Jersey Devil, the Bell Witch, or the Wendigo, or the Skinwalker, all that shit, which has an origin. Each has an origin, but Slender Man is a internet boogeyman for the internet, creepypasta. And so it's really that it's like the modern day variant of Dracula, Frankenstein, and which are good books, by the way. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which really shocked a lot of people back then. Bram Stoker's Dracula, great story. But these 2 teenage girls are now in their teens now, and they're serving time for trying to kill their classmate to sacrifice her to Slender Man, somebody that is not real, but was created for the internet camp story shit, you know. Um, so look at that, for example. So Slender Man, you know, Slender Man was used as a reason why two girls tried to kill their classmate, so they could give her body and give her soul to Slender Man, you know. Um, so you, it's the person or persons that take the fantasy in video games and bring it to real life. Like, you see people that played GTA, Grand Theft Auto, thought they would emulate what's in the game. You know, Jack Thompson would be on that heartbeat, but you can't blame the game. You blame the person that emulated the game, brought it to real life. Steal a car. Bit of a prostitute to take her money. That's the dumb shits that would emulate what's in the game, and don't really understand that what's in the game is in the game, you know. And like Manhunt 2, there were scenes in the game where that anybody who's hardcore playing this franchise um, um, would emulate it to real life, you know. GTA, Call of Duty, you know, Mortal Kombat. There's games that people would take too seriously. Um, Penn and Teller had a show called Bullshit that ran for 6 years, and one of the episodes was talking about video games. And there was a guy that was passing out pamphlets, leaflets about to get them from playing video games. But this guy had guns. He owned guns. He owned guns, and he had a house full of guns in his house. But he wanted to help kids stop playing games. But he owned a shotgun, a AR-15, an M1, a M4, all kinds of guns in his house. But there's one guy who's like this, yeah, man, kind of reminds you of Bill and Ted, you know, but hardcore. I mean, a big fan of gaming. I mean, it's not the gaming industry, gaming itself. It's the person that's emulating the games, you know. And it's what the media does not tell you. And CNN is a purveyor of propaganda, bullshit, fake news, you know. The media is as well. You know, there are controversy in games, which some games were banned in some countries, and also in some states and some cities and shit, you know. Which I can understand. But you know, video games are not as bad as what people put out to be. You know, I've started playing up again right around 06. When I bought a PS2, I bought a couple of games for it. I ended up getting buying a total of 42 games. 42 games I got. And one of the games that I was missing is Star Wars Bounty Hunter, where you play as Jango Fett before the Clone Wars and shit. So, I still want to get it, but they don't got it for the Xbox. It seems that more Star Wars games you would see on the Xbox than you would the PlayStation and the Nintendo system. And but I mean, the media got this about Modern Warfare 2 completely off base, and this was when Fox News was heavily favoring George W. Bush and shit. Like they were pro war. Both sides were pro war. The media was pro war, man. You know, like holy crap. If you ain't pro war, you ain't American. Like, who wants a war, man? Nobody wants a war, dude. You know. But what happened? What happened. But if you look at it, most games, like, again, Modern Warfare, um, who's the enemy? Russia. Black Ops, the first Black Ops. Who's the enemy? Couple of Russians and a German. Couple of Russians and a German. It's always about like shit. Cold War. Russia. Who's the enemy? Soviet Union. Russia. And it's awfully funny, and also the first game of Homefront. Korea. North Korea. North Korea. And it's just this communist shit. Because even though the war's over with North Korea and shit, and the Cold War's over, they still want to tear down Russia. Look, I'm not pro Russian, But the thing is, it's they want to restart the Cold War with Russia and China, right? They want to start this Cold War all over again, even though nobody died in the Cold War, There was no actual war to begin with Russia. It was a chess game. It was a global chess match. A global chess match, And, the only time I'm ever a pro-Russian, as long as there's a cute babe that's about between 5 foot and 5'5", whether she's a blonde, redhead, or a brunette, nice long hair, blonde, brunette, redhead, no matter what it is, gorgeous blue eyes or green eyes or brown eyes, whatever it is, as long as there's a beauty in front of me bouncing on my boys, ping ping ping, oh yeah. But of course, I love all women. I think all women are beautiful around this world. And but the thing is, the media twist things. They go along with the script. The media party line. And so when you look at the game Modern Warfare 2 and that mission, No Russian, again, what they're not telling you is that you could choose not to do that mission. And also, number two, the character, Joseph Allen, he's a army private who went undercover for the CIA to infiltrate Makarov's Russian ultranationalist organization to pick up where Enzrim Tsakayev left off when he died. And it's just the media knows how to fuck shit up. Knows how to twist things and make you more stupid than they already look now. So again, I love video games. I hate stupid people. I don't like I hate the media. But you got people who are willing to twist the bullshit that'll fit their narrative, like for example, they were blaming Doom. No, was it Doom or Dune for the shooting in Sandy Hook 9 years ago, because allegedly Adam Lanza loved playing Doom. It's a fucking video game. And plus, how could he shoot those kids when he was already dead 2 days before the alleged shooting? There's so many red flags there. So many red flags there about that shooting, which was just you call it how do we call it? But the media really knows how to really twist for their own narrative and shit. So that's like the shooting in Florida. That Stoneman, was it called Stoneman Douglas High School? What was the blame for that? NRA. NRA was to blame for that shooting. Because, look, that Cruz kid, he's looking at the death penalty right now. He's looking at capital murder charge. And I mean, what's the real blame for that shooting in Florida? All I got was NRA this, NRA that, NRA da. The whole fucking thing, But the thing is, when you really take a step back, and who's the real blame? It's not the NRA. You can't blame them for the shooting because they didn't have that kid shoot those kids and those teachers and shit. They didn't have him do it. He did it on his own. And those dumb little bastards want to blame the NRA. And you got that David Hogg acting like he's a baby Hitler and shit, you know. And they want that fame. I mean, think about this. You got David Hogg. You got this chick that is a Latino version of Sinead O'Connor and a few other kids, and they're out of school for no more than what, almost out of school for what, 3 weeks and shit, because they're having fun, enjoying the fame, that they're getting, you know, and they were fame hungry. You know, but to me, in my opinion, it's like their classmates that died were no longer important. It was these little bastards and shit, you know, because they were enjoying the fame, you know, and I think that when you take into consideration is that, you know, here you got these little idiots saying, you know, BS this, BS that. Well, I said to them, bullshit, and go fuck yourself, you know, and they have no idea that, hey, look, you could blame whoever you want to blame, okay? You could blame who you want to blame, but the thing is, 17 people are dead, and you little cocksuckers are enjoying this little fame. You know, you're enjoying this little 15 minutes of fame, but when it started to die down, you know, Lori Ingram did a story on David Hogg. He was not accepted at 2 colleges because of his SAT scores and shit. And he went after, was it 2 or 3 of the backer? Was it the companies that were throwing in money for a show, investors and shit, you know, call it whatever, you know, and when that backfired, see, she was off the air for about a week. She came back. Only 2 pulled out. Advertisers pulled out, not investors. Advertisers pulled out. And the thing is, you know, the media loves to twist shit for their narrative, you know, for their narrative. For example, look at Ferguson, Missouri. You know, I remember watching a CNN when it happened, and Don Lemon was talking to this local rapper, hip hop guy, and he was telling Don Lemon stuff that need to be told. And the guy told Don Lemon, "Hey, look, I've seen your website, and it's not even come close to what happened." And Don Lemon was getting pissed because he wasn't getting a word in, but he was trying to talk over. He was talking over the guy, but because he knew the rapper was telling the truth, because there was a local guy that was talking about buses coming in and bringing in people to loot and riot and shit. And this is what was about. Rioters and looters coming in. Just like back in 2020. During that whole BLM shit, people were coming in on buses to loot, to riot, to burn shit down, and just like Ferguson. And that guy, he's a local guy from Ferguson, and he was saying, "Look, we've been seeing buses coming in, busing people coming in, and looting, just taking shit, you know." And they weren't even from Ferguson, Missouri. Okay, not even from Ferguson. And you had people from out of town coming in to protect the businesses and shit, like oath keepers, you know. And founder of Steve Rhodes, who's a founder, he was arrested for the alleged insurrection in D.C. He had nothing to do with that, but yet he's a founder of Oath Keepers. Oath Keepers is former law enforcement and former military that still keep their oath. Some were military, some were law enforcement that took the oath seriously and personally. And the Southern Poverty Law Center, the SPLC, listed Oath Keepers as a domestic terrorist organization. Okay, time out. So you're telling me Oath Keepers, who are former military and former law enforcement, who swore an oath to protect and defend the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, are domestic. It makes no sense. If a group like Oath Keepers, who are again former military and former law enforcement, who swore an oath to protect and defend the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, as domestic terrorists, it's bullshit. It's bullshit, you know. And plus, the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, is a far left. They're far left. Most of them are Democrats. Most of the members are Democrats and liberals and shit. Antifa is a homegrown domestic terrorist organization. You know, so is BLM. Not the peaceful movement, but the network organization. They're terrorist. They're a terrorist organization and shit. And also a money making. They're like the Scientology, cult of Scientology. And you know, just that. Don't trust the media. Period. Because ever since Columbine, holy shit, 23 years ago, how many shootings since Columbine happened? Because we had, what, 2 within a week now? 2 shootings within a week? 21 died today. 21 died. And I'll tell you what, watch. They're going to blame somebody for that shooting. Watch. They're gonna blame somebody or something. And they're going to give, when you gun control, no, what you need is common sense. You don't need gun control. You don't need it. If you want gun control, go after the criminals that have it. Don't go after the citizens that have it, because citizens go by the law. Okay? They are liberty-loving, Second Amendment people. Okay? And Democrats are, whether you're a liberal, progressive, or socialist, they are anti-gun. And the assault weapon ban from '94 should never happened, because if you look up the Dick Act of 1902, look it up. It's a law that can't be repealed. It's a 120-year-old legislation. 120-year-old legislation that cannot be repealed. Because it protects every citizen, that no gun control law can ever fuck with anybody. It'll be null and void. Basically, null and void. So, but we still got the assault weapons ban. But they will not tell you what is an assault weapon. It's a weapon with a 40 round magazine. An assault weapon could be a bat, a knife, a crowbar, a pipe, cinder block. It could be anything. A chain, a table leg, a broom handle, an axe handle, shears, scissors, knife, a shovel can be an assault weapon, somebody's wooden leg can be an assault weapon, a tree branch, a piece of power tree that was cut down can be used as a weapon itself, But they keep saying an assault weapon is an AR-15 that can shoot 140 round. That has a 40 round magazine clip. An AR-15, the round is a 22 caliber round. It's a little 22. And if you use that during a war, you'll be in a gun battle. You would be cut down within 15 minutes. Okay, because if you use that weapon to have a gunfight with somebody that has a 9mm or a 44 caliber, you're going to get totally tore up if you shoot with a 22 round. Little 22. You could shoot a squirrel with a 22 with a little 22. Small fucking bullet, dude. Won't hurt nobody. You'll wound. You get wound, but shit. But the thing is, The media love to twist shit for narrative. Right? No bullshit. A sword can be an assault weapon. You know, a chair, a steel chair can be an assault weapon. You know, knock over the head with it and shit. A frying pan, a pot, knock your ass out. You'll get a big old lump on your head, but it'll be knocked your ass out. You'll be right. Just don't do stupid. Just don't do stupid shit. just don't piss your wife off or your girlfriend, or they'll wait until you're asleep. Then they'll do an alcohol bong pot to the dome. Boom. Just. But they like to blame everybody or anything, you know. It's their favorite thing is to just blame and call people names, you know. Scammers call people names, you know. I mean, Democrats are like little kids, man, overgrown children. They call you a racist, a homophobe, xenophobe, all kinds of shit. Like, really, Democrats, you're referring back to your childhood for what? Name calling and shit? Name calling? Scammers call people names who expose them. Motherfucker. You know? I mean, it's stupid because Democrats, liberals, progressives, and socialists are referring back to their childhood and to name calling. Name calling. What are we, kids now? Like shit. Fuck, man. Goddamn. Alright, folks. This is good old Grandmaster Evan. And this is the Anonymous Republic Network. Please share this video. And if you're new to this channel, please leave a like, subscribe, comment below, hit the bell for notification. And always live healthy, happy, and wise. I love you guys. And I'll see you all in the next video, alright? Peace out. Godspeed.